So, as promised, to commemorate this very special 1 year anniversary episode of Spirited Sports, we have a very special guest in the house, Todd Ash Duah. Todd, how's it going?
Yeah, Nick, it's doing pretty well. I'm excited to be here. Um, Crazy how it's like literally been a full year, since the start of the podcast, which is just crazy how fast time goes by. But yeah, I'm just really grateful and excited to be here.
To be honest with you, looking back, it's felt like more than a year. It's felt like it's been so long since our first episode. I remember doing it this time last year when the Euro Cup was starting. Let's talk about some football. A former Green Bay Packer going to Baltimore. Jair Alexander reuniting with Lamar Jackson. Your thoughts?
For the Ravens, I think their secondary is already one of the best in the league already. I mean, you have Marlon Humphrey, who's an All-Pro cornerback. Kyle Hamilton's an All-Pro safety. They drafted Malachi Starks in the first round of this year's draft. So they already have a really good secondary. And then you add Jair Alexander to that. And, Alexander is obviously former All-Pro corner with the Packers. Had some really good years there in Green Bay. Unfortunately, kind of like this is more the injuries that kind of led to the end of his tenure there in Green Bay. He only played in 34 of a maximum of 68 games over the last, I believe, 2 seasons it's been. So he's played basically half the games with the Packers over the last few seasons, and that's kind of the reason why they decided to release him. But now Alexander, if you look at it for him, he, like you said, gets to reunite with his former college teammate, which is awesome. I think that's like an A+ move for both Alexander and the Ravens for sure.
Speaking of A+ moves, let's talk about some of the biggest NFL offseason moves that we've seen so far. Aaron Rodgers, 41 years of age, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was a big one. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a move that the Steelers absolutely just had to make. Rodgers was definitely the best option available for them, but you look at him from a talent perspective, he can still basically make any throw on the football field. He's still obviously very smart. He's seen basically every defense, so he's not going to be fooled by anything that, other defenses are going to try to throw at him during the season. I think it's a good move for the Steelers, and it gives them a chance to return to the playoffs, and who knows, maybe win a playoff game for the first time since 2017, because that's all Steelers fans want to see at this point. So,
speaking of the Steelers, why don't we talk about George Pickens going to Dallas, the Cowboys?
That was kind of surprising, I think, for me to see the Steelers do that. I know they just obviously traded for DK Metcalf and signed him to that big deal. And Metcalf and Pickens, they kind of have a similar playing style. They're both tall, physical receivers who are really good at catching those deep, long passes. I think having both of them together with Rodgers would have been a pretty sight to see. But I love the move for Dallas. I think this is an A+ move for Dallas. I love them getting George Pickens, adding him with CeeDee Lamb. That's now one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL now.
Let's take it back to the draft this past offseason. We saw a big move there within the top 5. Number 2 and number 5 swaps. We saw the Browns making a move, trading their number 2 pick to Jacksonville for their 5th pick. We know that the Browns were projected to get Travis Hunter. We were talking about a lot. You and I were actually talking about that a lot during the live stream a few months ago. We were very, very surprised when that trade happened.
That was pretty wild to see that. I mean, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card. The Browns trading away, the second pick there. They did get a lot of picks back in that, so I can see the rationale. I understand what they're trying to do there, but Travis Hunter is a generational prospect. He's an outstanding cornerback as well. And right now they're kind of easing him in on both sides of the ball. It would be interesting to see where he kind of starts out, like week 1. Is he going to be, on offense first or defense, or they're going to put him at both?
We need to talk about this. It's going to Game 7, the 19th NBA Finals that has gone to Game 7 in league history. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers. These two teams have gone back and forth all series. Todd, your thoughts about these two teams duking it out in Game 7 for the trophy?
Yeah, I would say this has been one of the best final series we've seen in a long time. It's the first final series to go to Game 7 since 2016 when LeBron and the Cavs came back from that 3-1 deficit to knock off Steph Curry and that 73-win Warriors team there. It's been a really good series to watch. Overall, it's been one of the best series I think we've seen in a long time in the NBA. Particularly in the NBA Finals, with both these teams kind of going back and forth, playing at that level of pace on both sides of the ball. The Pacers, they really do put the pace in their offense. Like, they play very, very fast. Tyrese Halliburton's a just excellent player, and we're already one of the best players in the league, and he's one of the clutchest players that we've seen in a long time. Pascal Siakam, obviously we know him from his time in Toronto, big part of helping the Raptors win that championship in 2019. And they just have a slew of really good glue players who play great defense and can shoot as well. So they're a really well put together team. And then the Thunder, on the other hand, obviously they're the favorites coming into this series. They had the most wins, obviously, all year, the best team in the league all year. They had the league MVP and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jalen Williams has been awesome. Chet Holmgren's a great defensive player. I guess a lot of people would say they have a historically great defense. Guys like Alex Caruso and Lou Dort playing defense. I really think it's anybody's game. I think the Thunder are probably slight favorites, mainly because they're at home, and they just seem to play a lot better when they're at home compared to away. But then again, the Pacers, I mean, everyone just keeps counting them out time and time again, and every single time it looks like they're like done and okay, finally, they're going to be, it's over for them, and they just come roaring back. And, I don't think it's even fair to call them underdogs anymore. I think everyone knows now that they're a very great team, and they have a chance to do something special on Sunday night. And actually, you can say both teams kind of do, because whoever wins, they're going to win their first championship in franchise history. So it should be a good one to watch for sure.
So Todd, as everybody knows, you've been a major contributor to the podcast from its inception, and a lot of thanks has to go to you for reaching this 1 year anniversary mark. So do you want to talk a little bit about Spirited Sports here and kind of talk about the year anniversary?
Nick, being able to do this podcast, it's been a full year. It was crazy to reflect on that, but yeah, me, you, Toli, everyone like behind the scenes just helping out. Like, it's just been incredible to work with all of you guys, and just being able to have all those funny moments, and all those moments of just working hard and really developing the podcast. Been just amazing to be a part of that. So yeah, it's crazy how it's been a full year, and this is my first ever time kind of starting to do any sort of sports podcast. So being able to have my first experience doing that with you guys, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So yeah, I'm grateful for all of you guys, and it's been amazing. So
yes, big thank you to you, Todd, because you were a big help to get this thing off the ground. As we said in the first episode, it was months in the making, and it sure was. So Todd, we cannot let you go without talking about your new podcast, the Ash Bros Podcast. Why don't you take us through a little bit about what this whole podcast is about? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so fun just to be able to do this with my brother. We talk about football a lot, even off the camera, but being able to do it for other people to listen into now. And both of us, we love football a lot. It's our favorite sport for sure. It's just amazing to be able to talk football with him and do it on the podcast here. Have a platform to be able to do it on. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really grateful that I've been able to do it with him, and I just can't wait to see where this continues to go into the future for sure.
You two definitely have a lot of chemistry as brothers, and both also has content creators as well. Talk about the chemistry you have with your brother.
Yeah, I think our chemistry is pretty good already, which is obviously amazing. It's kind of funny in a way because we kind of have a lot of similar takes most of the time with a lot of things. Particularly even what we're doing right now, our recent episodes of predicting the records of who's gonna win this division or win this division. The first one we did, we had the exact same order. I'm not sure that's gonna continue for the rest of the miniseries we're doing, but overall it's been pretty fun. I think we do a great job of just building off of each other's points, and kind of adding as well to our points. So I really just enjoy doing that with him, and it's just really fun when you're able to do that with someone who kind of has those same ideas as you, and like you said, chemistry. So you can follow the Ash Bros podcast on Instagram. It's at Ash Bros podcast. We have episodes right now kind of coming out every 2 weeks, but we're planning for when the season does start, kind of to do it weekly, with all the crazy storylines that are going to come out when the season starts.
I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy listening. Great work, Todd, and I know Peter's done a great work with that as well. Good job.
Thank you.